We start with our big focus at this afternoon. News coming in: Ethiopian Tigray crisis continues to intensify. In the latest turn of events, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has given the Tigrayan regional forces a 72-hour ultimatum to surrender before the country's armed forces begin a military operation. Prime Minister Abiy took to Twitter to announce the ultimatum on Tigrayan forces. He urged for a peaceful surrender from the opposition before military starts launching attacks. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian army threatened to besiege the city of Mekelle earlier on Sunday. A military spokesman said advancing troops plan to surround Mekelle, the regional capital, with tanks, and is also likely to shell the city to force the Tigrayan forces to surrender.
የሚቀጥለው ምዕራፍ ወሳኝ ምዕራፍ የሚባለው መቀሌን በታንክ ዙሪያዋን በታንክ ለመክበብ በሚያመች መልኩ የተራራ ውጊያዎችን ጨርሰን ቁልቁል የምንወርድበት የውጊያ ምዕራፍ ላይ እንገኛለን።
The Tigray People's Liberation Front leaders have promised a fierce fighting to halt the Ethiopian army's advance. The federal troops have taken a string of towns during aerial bombardments and ground fighting and are now aiming for regional capital of Mekelle, where the rebels are based. The conflict is rooted in long-standing tension between Tigray People's Liberation Front, the powerful regional party, and the central government. TPLF have argued that the central government has marginalized the Tigrayan people since coming into power. For more on this, we are being joined by Samuel Getcho, who is a journalist based in Addis Ababa. Samuel, welcome to WION. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Another ultimatum given by Ethiopian administration to the administration in Tigray. How real is the threat of a civil war in Ethiopia?
Let me just give you a basic background. The TPLF was in government for 27 years until 2018 when Abiy, the prime minister, came to power. So they're not freedom fighters as many assume. They're the ones that were in government for 27 years and they had a record of development. They took the idea of China and they wanted to implement it in Ethiopia, but they also abused, they were accused of human rights abuses and lack of democracy in Ethiopia. So since they left 2018 when they were defeated, when the head of TPLF right now was defeated as prime minister, he went back to Tigray and decided to, in a way, have his own nation within Ethiopia. And that's what provoked the whole idea, the whole conflicts. They also attacked a military base, and that's what provoked the conflict. But to go back to your question, it seems to be serious. The army is an hour away from Mekelle, and they're about to attack, unless they, listen to what they've been told by the government and decide to, hand in power and give themselves in. It's going to be a very deadly conflict that will affect thousands of Ethiopians.
Right, Samuel, stay with us because this conflict is now threatening a humanitarian crisis. Let's just update our viewers on that. Now, this conflict is sparking, United Nations has said, may spark a humanitarian crisis in Ethiopia. Rising tensions in the northern Tigray region has forced thousands of Ethiopians to flee to neighboring country of Sudan to escape the fighting. According to United Nations, nearly 35,000 people have already fled the deadly fighting in Tigray region and crossed into Sudan. Few kilometers away from the Lugdi checkpoint separating Ethiopia and Sudan, refugees have been placed in a temporary shelter in a small township. The town is currently sheltering almost 15,000 people from the Tigray area. Samuel continues to be with us. Samuel, as we just told our viewers, close to 35,000 people have already fled the Tigray region. That's the official figure. It may be higher than that as well. So a humanitarian crisis looms. What is the solution to this conflict? What is being done for those people who are fleeing this conflict?
35,000, it's an official number. There are more people that haven't been accounted for. The UN is looking at providing the resources they need to survive, band-aid solutions. They're also appealing to international donors to help. Sudan is not a rich nation. It can't help all these people. So that's why the international donors are being asked to pitch in so they can potentially save lives. And it's growing 4,000 a day, and this will multiply to up to 200,000 as the UN have been saying from day one. So it's a humanitarian crisis, not just an Ethiopian crisis. it's going to be an international crisis that will only not affect Africa. But, these migrants, there will be a migration boom unless something is being done on the ground in Sudan, and also this conflict being forced to end, because more people will be going to the Sudan.
Samuel, very quickly, do you see the authorities in Tigray accepting the terms and conditions by the end of this latest deadline that's been given to them?
They might or they might not. They're known to fight until the very end. Whether they want it or not, the Ethiopian army is closing in, and it's going to be the end of their leadership, but the conflict might go on.
Thanks for getting us all the latest as far as the humanitarian crisis that currently looms over the people who are fleeing the conflict in Ethiopia.